And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the lower semifinals. We have our first finalist. We have our French Terran player waiting in the grand finals. But the question becomes, who will be his opponent? Who is going to go up against him next year in that grand finals best of 5? We're here to find that out. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Gen G Esports. It is Trap. God damn it. Hold on. There we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem's teammate. He did just take down Zound. It is SKillous. Let us go. As we just did get an update, SKillous versus Zound did conclude. It went all the way to the ace match, and SKillous did bring him down 2-1, advancing on to the semis, to the semifinals match. Again, we have 2 series left. We have this PvP and a PvT in the finals. Hero did fight his heart out against Clem, but it barely was not enough. And now we can embrace this Protoss versus Protoss instead. Let's go. Let us go. As we do see in this PvP, a 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener out to Trap, 2-gate opener out to SKillous. Trap, he's going for a fake proxy pylon, and he's hoping to try to force SKillous to overreact and to over-respond. Oh boy. We'll see if he does. As we do get the probe scout into the main. Get that probe scout. Meanwhile, Trap is still being active, coming in with his own delayed probe scout instead. SKillous has both pylons in the main base, so SKillous just going for a standard opener, is opening up Double Stalker, likewise Double Stalker out of Trap as well. Double Stalker openers all around. Both players looking to try to vie for map control. We'll see if either player goes for a 3rd and 4th Stalker as well, and commits to aggression. Do we commit, or do we go into sentries? Oh, we're committing. Oh my god. Not just committing, so we're getting to a 3rd and 4th Stalker. Likewise, so is Trap. Meanwhile, 1 base all in. That is a robo, that is a gateway. Trap is committing into a 1 base all in. SKillous is still in the dark as to what's going on. He's still trying to piece it together. SKillous looking to expand. Trap is not. Oh boy. There's the expansion for SKillous. SKillous is going to be the defender. Trap is going to be the aggressor. He is backing up. SKillous moving out across the map. Likewise, so is Trap. The armies will miss each other. Completely, actually, for the time being. SKillous going to be following up with his Twilight Council into Blink. But I do worry here. Do worry for our players as Trap, he reveals his army. He's going for the kill! He's going for the main! Oh, very clutch force field. Force field will delay. Meanwhile, Trap is also aware the pylon goes down. That's all the gateways. Oh, that's production. Oh, even what? No shot. Warp gate gets denied. Warp gate is denied. Likewise, Trap is defending back at home. He does force field the red, forces a recall. Now the pylons will finish up, and with the completion of these pylons, Warp gate will then finish, and SKillous can defend, at least initially. As the main base is under fire. Trap, he's actually going to be expanding. Yeah, he forces a cancel, and Trap, he's getting ready to expand back at home. Getting in position. Trap, he does reinforce with the Prism. What does he go for? Yep, there he goes. Goes for the Nexus. So Trap expands. Meanwhile, SKillous is stuck on 1 base. SKillous is stuck. Reinforcements on the way. Gonna be on the way. Gateway still takes some extra hits. Force field zones back. SKillous is setting up, getting into immortal production, extra gateway, shield battery as well. SKillous believes he's defending against an all-in is the problem here. Force fields are chaotic. Trap does save his units, does preserve them. Does save them in the end. But last, Trap doesn't have to push in. Trap's goal here is to contain and expand. Is to expand. Meanwhile, SKillous is trying to break out. Flush force field. SKillous does save the Immortal. Very nice control. Very nice pick up micro. Oh! A lag crash from Trap as well. Preserving those units. Does preserve them. Threatening the main army. And Trap pulls away. He does pull away. Going for some adept harass at the same time. Prism has to be careful. SKillous will find it. Oh. And we'll chase that Prism down. Does sustain hull damage. Trap trying to get in position, catching up the main army. Stalkers are busy chasing. The Trap does get an adept. SKillous finally expanding. Trap does have the better economy. And SKillous, he does catch an Immortal. Oh my god! Immortal goes down. Prism's out of position. Oh. Yeah, the War Prism was not here this time to save it. Strong start for SKillous, as he will be committing. Meanwhile, back at home, probes are about to go down, but does SKillous care? He's shading on the army. Does cancel the shade. Going for the adepts. Meanwhile, speaking of adepts, they get into the main. Probes are going down. SKillous' economy is crippled, but he doesn't carry. Look, he wants to push in. Gets a sentry. Back at home, the Immortal does defend. This also means that the Immortal's not across the map. There's the recall. And SKillous is just trying to force the issue. Trying to force his way in. Nice control so far, but the Prism goes down. And it looks like, does Trap have enough? With Mass Adept. And it's not a clean fight. He's up against 3 Immortals. But Immortals that didn't trade amazingly against Adepts. Oh, the juggling. Yeah, with help of the micro here, it looks like Trap holds. Trap, he holds, he shuts down the army. Does cost him 10 workers as he had to pull the boys. Boys were being pulled. Trap holds, still maintains a better economy. But still a very close game state. Trap does take into Glaives. This tells us that Trap most likely is going for an all-in. He might get a third, but just for like some light saturation. Jump to skip behind the mineral line. Oh. Gets a couple of workers. Jumping into the main. Meanwhile, probes are going down. We have, oh my god, we have Mass Adepts into the natural. We have Immortals into the main base as well. GG gets called as SKillous gets pulled apart. And Trap takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Trap does take the first game here. Again, a very intense game 1. Trap starting things off with the all-in, did overwhelm, did snowball out of control, and alas, SKillous did survive, did break out, but wasn't quite able to fully recover. Did lose a little bit too much when it came to his own push, when it came to his own attack at the natural base. We saw him lose every single Immortal. He was left vulnerable. In that moment of vulnerability, that's where Trap popped off, and Trap did take game 1. GG. GG, well played. But we'll see if SKillous can recover and bounce back. It is going to be SKillous' map of choice. It is loser's pick. And what's it going to be? We have Snowpiercer, Eldorado, Leylines, and Ultra Love. Fun fact, we have not casted on Snowpiercer at all tonight. Not once. There has been no Snowpiercer. And I don't really see us embracing Snowpiercer in a PvP, to be honest, but we'll see. It comes down to SKillous. Comes down to what he wants, and we have his answer. Is going to be Leylines. Leylines is coming up next. Here we go. As the lobby is being made, and we are setting up here for potentially the conclusion of the semifinals. Potentially. I'm hoping we can get a more of a back and forth, but the pressure is on SKillous. Pressure is on. And we might even see SKillous be the aggressor early on instead. Could turn the tables. Could turn the tables here on Trap as we are loading in. We are loading into that next game. And again, I'm hoping for an ace match. Again, like our tournament cost so far has been relatively fast. Been some quick games, some quick matches. Very few ace matches. And even late game. We're jumping in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Leylines, we have the blue Protoss player. Oh, apologies. We have the blue Protoss representing Gen G Esports. Leading the series 1-0, it is Trap. God damn it. I thought I had it. Hold on. There we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. Down the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover and force that ace match. It is SKillous. All the trouble. Here we go. As the probe does move out. Likewise, so does Trap. Setting up for their probe scouts, and it looks like this time we won't be going for any fake or even real proxy pylons. Looks like we are just going to be scouting, getting across the map and getting a feel for what is occurring. Once again, 2-gate opener out of SKillous, 2-gate opener out of Trap. It should be entering our initial units of choice. As a reminder, last game we did have double Stalker versus double Stalker into quadruple Stalker from both sides. Of course, Trap was more aggressive, that is true. And we'll see how our players do adjust. Cyber cores are still on the way. Second pylon gets placed in the main base for SKillous. Second pylon also placed in the main for Trap as well. So no hidden pylon, no fake or real proxy. Everyone is aware that everything is on the up and up. Bit of a gentleman's agreement here in Game 2. That's agreement. And now we have our openers. Stalker Sentry. Stalker Sentry by both players here. Mirrored builds, much more macro-oriented. The reason for this, of course, is Sentries, they have a lot of power in PvP. They're very defendable. They give you a lot of scouting information with their hallucinations. It is kind of the go-to in a more standard macro PvP opener is the Sentry. Into multiple Sentries. Speaking of, second Sentry's on the way for SKillous. Meanwhile, Trap, he skips that second unit, going for a faster, or trying to go for a faster Nexus. I mean, both players at Nexi are pretty comparably timed. I think even slightly faster for SKillous. As Trap is just now getting to additional Sentries. So triple Sentry openers is the standard. Oh. And we have our take of choice, SKillous going for the Robo. Okay. Now with a Robo Opener, this is typically more defendable. It means that SKillous has access to faster immortal production and can fortify himself, getting up to a third, and then eventually breaking out. Meanwhile, Trap is going for faster Twilight Council. That tells us that Trap will have map control, will have a much more mobile and flexible army, and again, is going to be the aggressor initially. Be on Trap to be aggressive and to try to punish SKillous for cutting corners. It's going to be on SKillous to be defensive and try to weather the storm until he can move out and break out onto the map and catch up on those Twilight Council upgrades eventually. We'll be looking to get there. Meanwhile, we spoke about the immortal production. The first immortal's already on the way. Now, I'm curious to see if SKillous does even expand. This could be the beginning of a 2-base all-in from the red Protoss. Could be, depending on how many immortals he does get up to. Usually, we would see Protoss players open up Observer, maybe into a Observer, into a Prism, into delayed immortal production. With immortals being produced this early on, I mean, again, SKillous is going to have a lot of immortals early. And here comes that War Prism. Now, Hallucination does confirm the Robo as well as the first Immortal. Adepts a third in the shade. Trap is keeping up. Oh. Does keep up, does catch one of the Adepts. Not bad. One Adept goes down. Stalker's moving out. And SKillous, he is committed. He's throwing down more gates. Oh, my apologies. I assume those are gateways. No, Twilight Council into Forge, so SKillous is taking. He's being aggressive, that is true, but he's not all in. He's not all in. He's transitioning out of this into +1 and his own Blink or even Charge. Nice force fields, but Trap does get away. Does avoid the lockdown here of SKillous. From here, SKillous has to back up. Trappy threatens a dive. It's also in a dive, diving on the main army, going for the Prism. Oh! Well, Prism does survive. Does make it out, just barely. Just barely does make it. Likewise, Trap rotating around. And the Prism will have to recall. SKillous, he gets the hell out of here. Does pull back home. And we spoke about this earlier, but Trap does have map control with those Link Stalkers. Looking to pick off any kind of Warp Prism, any stray units, even dive into the main. And what does he go for? He's going for the Twilight Council. Bold move. It does have a lot of HP. Does take a lot of hull damage. And does go down. Massive pick off at a cost of how many Stalkers? One Stalker goes down, just one. Well worth it. Very much so worth it for Trap. He snipes and denies charge. Meanwhile, SKillous is going for a 2-base all-in. Gateway Explosion. It's going to be an 8-gate. It's going to be an 8-gate 2-base all-in for Skillous. 6 gates on the way, 2 already done. And Trap, he has to slow this down. He's getting a third. Bold. This is greedy. It's quite greedy here from Trap. The Prism. Prism survives. Up. And Trap, he gets baited as well. That's one. That's 2 Stalkers falling. A 3rd Stalker as well. Oh, Trap, he's making a lot of mistakes. 3 Stalkers get thrown away. War Prism survives. So even though Skillous does not have charge, I mean, he's still all in, and he still picked up a lot of Stalkers. Trap, he's trying to come in from behind. Does what the army... Ooh, takes down the Prism. Very nice snipe. Trap is still building up. Gathering reinforcements. Unlike Skillous, Trap, his own charge is done. And he can collapse on this. So they go for the dive. The Archon puts in a lot of work. Oh my god. There's a cancel on the 3rd. Again, it was very ambitious, very greedy of Trap to have tried to expand like that. And this all-in could still work. Skillous, he is up in army supply. Trappy does not get the Warp Prism, not this time, but the army does turn back around. And again, I do worry that Trap was just too greedy. Just been a bit too greedy here. You see SKillous backing off. He does expand. Okay, SKillous expands. He's on 5 immortals, by the way. I'll be honest, I don't think SKillous needs to expand. I feel like if he moves out here and now and just reinforces and just doubles down, I think he can kill Trap. Like, Trap, he is still far behind in supply. And against this many immortals, like, what can Trap do? He's taking into Disruptors, which will help. Disruptors, they're going to play their part in this fight, don't get me wrong, but they're a ways off. Disruptors, they're a long ways off here. Actually be applicable to this game. SKillous, he breaks out. Does catch the Stalkers. They take a lot of hits. And here comes SKillous with his final form. Charge now done. Again, 5 immortals. Like, how? How do you fight this? 5 immortals, 4 Archons, mass charge lot. Ay. SKillous, he denies a third, but he can keep going, to be honest. It's not going to be the most efficient fight for SKillous to push into a natural, but he can do it. We can see Trap, he knows he can't fight, he's going for a Desperation counterattack, trying to force a recall. Disruptors are amassing. Trap, he does get into the mineral line, at the same time Prism into the main as well. Probes are falling left and right. Nova goes off with no connection. Prism goes down, probes are falling left and right. And SKillous, he pulls the trigger. Now that the Disruptor is on cooldown, he just dives in. Takes down the Robo. Shield batteries are out of energy. Trap trying to get out of his natural. And from here, SKillous looks like he has done it. He has broken the natural base. I mean, across the map, sure, the Stalkers are doing well for themselves, but there are plenty of zealots to reinforce. SKillous, he defends, he attacks, and he is forcing that ace match. We haven't seen too many ace matches here tonight, but it's great to experience that here in the semifinals. As what can Trap do at this point? He has almost nothing left. He's microing his hard edge across the map. He's controlling those Stalkers, moving out with more. But Trap has no probe on the map. He has no workaround on the map. It's what you see is what you get. He cannot escape. He cannot get out. Do you have a recall back home? And GG gets called. SKillous takes game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. Series is tied up. We have an ace match. We have a back and forth. And again, this could still go either way. Fingers crossed. This could go either way here. Do we see SKillous pull off another upset, or does Trap bounce back? We are getting ready here for that next game. It's going to be Trap's map of choice. It is loser's pick, of course. It can either be Snowpiercer, El Dorado, or Ultra Love. Which one? Where are we dropping? As we will soon have that answer. As the Trap is still deliberating here amongst himself. This also, we haven't been able to this entire broadcast. I do apologize. We can also take a look at the bracket itself. Has been updating over the course of the event. And again, I do apologize for not having the time to actually get into it. It's been a very intense broadcast with very little downtime. But over the course of this series, or of this tournament, we have Goblin. Goblin takes down Rex 2-0, advancing on to face off against Clem. We had Clem taking down Rebellion. Rebellion did take a map. I'm a little bit shocked, but Rebellion, he took a map off of Clem. Very impressive by the Korean Protoss. As Clem, he does bleed in the round of 16. Did have Quanta take down Promi. We had Hero take down Oliveira in the early rounds. That is a crazy first round match, by the way. Hero, he did get a win over Quanta, and then of course Clem took down Hero 2-0. Scrolling down, we did have a bit of a different performance here. We had Solar making it to the quarterfinals, where he got knocked out by Trap. Likewise, Trap took down Nicorette. SKillous versus Gumiho, Zan versus Beyond. Those are matches that we did cast. We did cast on the channel, and that led into our semifinals. Into these matches. SKillous versus Zan to go to the ace match. Again, great to see Zan popping up. And now it comes down to this final game between Trap and SKillous. Oh boy. Meanwhile, we have our map of choice. Trap, he had some time to go over his options, and it is going to be, for the first time tonight, Snowpiercer. We have been avoiding the largest map in the map pool the entire broadcast, and now Trap decides to embrace it. Now, because the map is large, that doesn't necessarily mean macro. Because it's so large, could be a proxy, could be a one base all in. That could be in the back of Trap's mind. Could even be on the forefront of his mind as well. So, we'll see what he does commit to. Whether we see something more standard in macro and we embrace, you know, disruptor versus disruptor in the mid game, or if it ends earlier than that. As we have yet to fully embrace that late game. Or in the mid game. As we are getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right hand corner of Snowpiercer, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Gen G Esports. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover and take the series. It is a Trap. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid, fighting back and forcing that ace match. We'll see if he can go the distance. It is SKillous. Here we go. We are going to be settling in. And again, welcome one and all to Snowpiercer, a very large map. We have plenty of bases, long rushes to spike around, of course, to get across the map. Plenty of wide open areas here towards the center. I mean, I say that, I should emphasize a lot of choke points. We see a lot of choke points, a lot of points of elevation that you can take advantage of as well. And despite that, a map that is often vetoed here by pro players, which is understandable. Again, choke points, large map, leads to more macro late game, and some players aren't too fond of that. It can definitely cater towards that more kind of turtley style of play, but that isn't really too applicable in PvP, as SKillous does go for what looks to be a fake proxy pylon. Okay, so it is SKillous' turn to be a little bit cheeky. His turn. Good. So we are going to be settling in again. It's going to be a 2-gate open. It's going to be a Stalker Sentry out of SKillous. Does make sense. Meanwhile, my eyes are going to be on Trap. Double Stalker. Interesting. Double Stalker out of Trap, followed by a 3rd and 4th Stalker as well. So this is hyper aggressive from the Korean Protoss player. With this, he's going to be reinforcing. He's going to be moving out. Robic is thrown down. Oh my god, this is very similar to game 1. Trap has a pylon on the low ground, but that is just for show. That is just for show here. It looks like Trap is setting up for a 1-base all-in. There it is. Gateway gets placed. 1-base all-in from Trap. Oh boy. Here we go. Meanwhile, Trap, he is looking for the pylon. He does find it. He does find the proxy. now is aware that he doesn't have to overreact and over-respond. But SKillous, he's already defended against this once earlier in the series in Game 1. We'll see if he can do it again. See if he can do it here in Game 2. As the pylon is under fire. Nation Scout coming in. Will still cost SKillous the pylon though. Nation confirms no natural, no expansion, sees the gateway, sees the robo, and now SKillous knows back at home he's setting up. Shield batteries are on the way. Force fields, they try to buy some time, but last trap he will deny at least the first shield battery. First shield battery is cancelled, pylon's under fire. SKillous, he's holding his own. Oh, one Stalker goes down. Nice force fields, trading a Stalker for a Stalker Sentry. Second Stalker falls as well. Very nice defense here by SKillous. And the shield batteries are almost done. They're halfway done at this point. He has to buy a little bit more time. His own robo also about to complete as well. SKillous is holding. SKillous, he is holding, and Trap, he has to commit. I mean, that's a lot of Stalkers. That is how many? 10 Stalkers for Trap. He dives forward. He can two-shot Stalkers. He gets one. He gets two. Oh, he should get two. Oh my god. He should get two, but the force fields are brutal. Most of the army gets locked back. Very nice setup here by SKillous. He buys more time. But is it enough? As the Immortal's halfway done. Can the shield batteries putting in as much work as they can? Sorry, Stalkers are going down. Once again, nice force fields, just creating this choke point. Making it so difficult for all of the Stalkers of Trap to engage. I mean, still pushing in. Here comes the Immortal, though. And the punish is real. SKillous. And he's barely holding on. Shields are activated on the Immortal. Pulls back to the shield battery. Oh my god, very nice kiting here by SKillous, but it's still down to 3 units, or 4 units even. Second Immortal arrives! No shot. With the help of the second Immortal, it looks like SKillous, he will lock down the army, he will force back Trap. Trap, he is one shot away from losing almost every single Stalker. And Trap, he can't expand. He is, but he can't. It's such a late expansion here from Trap. Ay, ay, ay. And SKillous is getting ready for his own counterattack. Is the problem here? Is that SKillous will soon break out? Trap still has a hefty Stalker army. Drop is denied. SKillous is ready. Oh. SKillous getting a Stalker, pulling back. Nice control. It's a very careful play there out of SKillous. I believe Hallucination there. Adept does scout across the map. Gets eyes on the natural. SKillous, he is up in bases, he's up in workers, he's up in economy. SKillous is up in almost every metric here. Now, if Trap can catch this Prism, if he can snipe this War Prism and it can, and as a result, catch both Immortals, then Trap can recover in this game. But the drop is revealed. And this drop shouldn't get much done. As there's plenty of plenty of time for the army to respond. So Prism's getting chased down. SKillous is keeping up, making sure he doesn't get caught with his pants down. Jeez. You could argue overkill here. I mean, SKillous did survive, but at a cost of 6 shield batteries. Jesus, that's a lot of shield batteries. So it's a lot of healing. From here, SKillous can take a third. But now, taking up. Into Blink, into Force for +1. We do see Trap trying to come into the main. Oh. Observer gets saved. Immortals, they dive in. They go for the Stalkers. So far they get one probe. Now up to two. Two probes go down. The boys are being pulled. The army has to respond. 7 to 8 probes. Oh my god. 8 probes fall. And just like that, Trap, he does take a worker lead, and there is still no third. I assume there would be, but no. SKillous has yet to expand. Almost gets an immortal. Trap, he's recovering. Despite the failed all-in, despite how late the expansion was, he is slowly recovering, taking up into charge, +1 in Archon production. You can see that basically Trap, he did decide to skip Blink. He's skipping Blink Stalkers, wants none of it. And in so doing, he can try to catch up in Immortal and charge, of course. As we see from here, Trap is getting the hell out of here. SKillous finally does move out. Now, when it comes to the main armies, we can have a look at the units tab here. 4 Immortals versus 4 Immortals. The Immortal counts are neck and neck. SKillous, he has Blink! Up! The Immortals! Prism is going to go down. He gets both Immortals as well. There's no escaping this massive pickup. Prism into Immortals. And now, we got to send it. We got to go. SKillous is pushing in. Trap in a bit of trouble here. And he keep up with SKillous. Zealot initially. Trap is expanding. SKillous not quite in position to deny the expansion either. Main army's collapsing. Nice force wheels. They lock down one of the Immortals. Yeah, SKillous was a little bit late to respond, a little bit late to save him. Another force field. Oh, the Prism goes down. Oh my god, Trap. Despite being down, he does shut down the army. He catches out all 3 Immortals. Like, SKillous was looking good. Very, very good in this game. He defended beautifully, he held, but again, late third means that he doesn't really maintain that economic lead. Trap actually has a much faster third base than SKillous, of course. Nexus is now done. And now Trap, he can recover. Meanwhile, SKillous again, been stressed the entire day. Well, SKillous, he played well here. Sorry, I'm still waking up. SKillous rotate. Getting into disrupt. Okay, he did tech up into disruptors. I got you. Oh, does hit the third. Trap gonna respond. Trap does respond. Double Stargate into Phoenixes. I mean, Trap, is he aware he is? He is aware of disruptors. Now, how do you respond? How do you counter disruptors? The Phoenixes. What do? They lift. They lift the disruptors, and that will cancel the Nova. So, Trap is already working on the counter. Likewise, economies are neck and neck. Still very close. Still very close here. I assume that after the blundered attack by SKillous, that Trap would counterattack. But Trap is taking. So, Trap is taking up instead. So, both players are building up into their third base economies. Both players are stabilizing. Both players are working towards a longer game state here. And it comes down to the army composition, to the positioning, of course, as well. SKillous moving out. Does he get eyes on the expansion? Not quite. There is a hallucination though to confirm. SKillous himself just calming down. Calming down. Here we go. As SKillous, he does push in. is attempting to deny the expansion. Oh, catches out the Phoenixes! And miscontrol by Trap. Phoenix is trying to dive in. Novas go up. They do connect. At least they connect on the Immortal. But the main army does break through. And Trap just trying to brute force his way on top of this army. Does catch out another one of those disruptors. One disruptor survives. Two disruptors even. That was a better trade for Trap. Here goes up. And connection. Trap once again getting ready with that concave. Nova goes up, connects with the Immortals. But it does not matter. The Immortals, they can tank a Nova. Disruptor count gets reset. Phoenixes, they come in from behind. They do not quite get the Stargate. Oh, sorry, the Stargate. The War Prism does survive. While Trap does commit. Makes you a Stalker. Pushing into the third. SKillous trying to come in from behind. No, it goes off. Oh, no connection. Yeah, barely not. The Phoenixes, they lift just in time. GG gets called. The comeback is real. And Trap, he started things off with a failed all-in, but he recovered. He bounced back. GG, well played. Trap will advance on to the grand finals. Whew. GG, well played. Very, very impressive play there by Trap. A shout to SKillous, a shout to Nikita. SKillous, he played well. He played very well. He was able to hold his own. He even had his own lead and advantages in this game, but it did slip by. It did slip through his fingers, and Trap was able to recover. And with that, congratulations. Trap will make it to the finals to face off against Clem in a bit of a rematch. Oh boy, there's a lot to get into there. This is going to be a best of 5 at TvP. A lot of Terran versus Protoss is here tonight. Again, we only had the one Zerg representative earlier. But regardless, it is going to be a banger of a finals. We're going to be going on a short break. The players need some time to get things ready and to get their cameras set up for the main feed for the Korean stream, I should emphasize. So they do need some time here. Until then, we're going to be going on a short break as well. And we will set up for that best of 5. See you soon. See you after the break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some water, drain your disruptors, hydrate hydras, massage your marines, and we'll be back soon with the finals. See you then.